Good morning, y'all. Sitting out here having my coffee. I don't usually do videos in the morning. I usually do some TikTok stuff, but not YouTube. But I just did a TikTok video. And by the way, if you don't follow me on TikTok, it's the same name, Norwegian Arnold. Just kind of goofy, lip syncing, random stuff. It's much less serious. Just having some fun. Just having my coffee before I head to a doctor's appointment. But I did this TikTok. By the way, välkommen tillbaka, tack för sist. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing. I appreciate it a lot. But I'm going to follow up on my TikTok video, which was talking about, the World Cup's going on right now. And specifically what got me into this was there's a European couple, specifically an English couple, that I've started watching a little bit on YouTube and or on TikTok. I wish I had their names, but I don't remember their names. They're easy to spot if you come across them. He's like a big buff, brown-haired dude with a beard. She's pretty blonde lady. And they're traveling around the US, but they were talking specifically about their favorite places. And hers was Bryce Canyon in Utah, and his was Moab in Utah. Both places that are just gorgeous. We were in Moab this spring. But, I've said many times, I am unapologetically a patriot to this country. I love this country. I don't care what other people say. We have some faults. Let's keep working on fixing them. But there are so many places in this world I'm so glad I don't have to live, and I feel bad for the people that do have to live in them. There's a reason so many people are trying to come here. And not try to go to those countries. Now, the reason I bring this up specifically is because a lot of Europeans have come to the North America specifically, North America generally and the U.S. specifically. Most of the events are in the U.S., but they're also in Mexico and Canada. But myself, I ran across a Scottish dude in California at my hotel who was here by this way, the Scots, they party like, I thought the Norwegians partied hard. Those Scots know how to party, man. They're such cool people. But so many of them have talked about, man, I had no idea how beautiful this country was, how beautiful the people are, how amazing the people are. We have been lied to. And the media is a bunch of liars on both sides. I don't care what you watch. I don't care if it's Fox News on one side or CNN on the other or MSNBC on I don't care. I try, I've said that politics does not run my life, but I do try to kind of keep up with what's going on in the world. So I try to watch all of these different things a little bit. They'll drive me nuts if I watch too much because they're all so freaking negative. And I know this is happening in my home country of Norway. There are so many Norwegians that have this horrible opinion of America that is just, and if you disagree with me, that's cool. You're allowed to. That's the beauty of this country. I think you're wrong, but you're entitled to that. But so many of these people are over here. I've seen them on the news. I've run into them personally saying, we had no idea. This place is amazing. The people are amazing. This is a fantastic country. And like I said, in Norway, I know people in Norway that have this slanted view of what America is because of a couple of people. It's just not. America is the people, the whole group of people. Now, are there bad people here? Of course there are. There are bad people everywhere. Some places a lot more. My wife and I started watching the series on it's on Netflix now, but Homeland, which is several years old now. But you see parts of the world where you don't have freedom. You don't get to just say what you want to say. You can get in big trouble and even put to death for what you say. As I said, there are things we can do better here, of course, but it's better than it was 50 years ago and 100 years ago and 200 years ago, and it keeps getting better. I don't care what anybody says. I travel this whole country. I just sold my truck, and I'm sad. It was such a fantastic truck. I put almost 250,000 miles on that truck. I literally drove it from Maine to California, from Canada to Florida, Alabama, New York, Colorado, Washington, everywhere in between. I've been to almost every state in that truck, got myself a new one, and it's a beautiful truck, but I kind of miss that it was a 2016 Ram 1500 Laramie, and it was such a badass truck. It was such a good truck for me. Never broke down once, never had a problem. But I have traveled this country. I have seen and met so many people, and every once in a while you run into a scumbag. That's gonna happen, but I don't know, 99% of the people I run into, maybe 99.9, are nice people of all walks, of all races, of all religions. Or atheists, for that matter. Most atheists I've met are nice people. They believe differently than me. That's okay too. I have always been a person that believes in live and let live. I say it all the time. The caveat is, as long as you're not hurting anybody. If your religion or your beliefs teach you to hurt people because they don't believe what you believe, I can never agree with that, and I think you're completely wrong. But the fact that so many of these people are saying, what a great place. We had no idea. I just got done a 4th of July weekend where we were camping up in the mountains here in Utah. It was a smaller group this time. There were only 5 couples that took our trailers up there. So we had 5 trailers in a circle, kind of a little mini city within this giant. There were so many RVs up there. They were everywhere you could look. And the nice thing about people that spend a lot of time in nature, and I'm not excluding other people when I say this, but specifically with this group, it's very patriotic. We saw flags everywhere. In our camp alone, I think we had 7 or 8 American flags. I have a big American flag and a little smaller Norwegian pennant under it on my ATV, my side-by-side, my Razor. We have 2 friends that put up giant poles, flag poles with flags on top, American flags. They were everywhere up there. I didn't see it as much generally leading up to the 250th. I remember 1976. I was living in Canada. I was a kid. I was 12 years old. And is that right? Yeah, 12. Turned 13 at the end of 1976. And it was a big deal in Canada. Sorry, I got a reminder here. Let's get rid of that. It didn't feel like as big a deal this time. And I know part of that is because so many people have a skewed idea of what our country is. Colleges, boy, I could do a whole video on colleges. I know college. I know professors. And what they teach about America is so wrong. There are so many young people that are growing up thinking we live in this awful country. And we got to turn it around. Our country can only survive if we're united. I mean, there's a reason to say united we stand, divided we fall. And I don't specifically know what the fix is. I just try to do my little part. And my little part is just to try to be a nice person to everybody I meet. Try to be friendly to everybody I meet, no matter who they are, no matter what they look like. You know, we got, like I said, we were in the mountains. We went on a couple of amazing, very dusty ATV rides up in the mountains. We need some rain bad. A couple times it looked like it was going to rain, and then it didn't happen. We went to a rodeo in a little small town, which was just amazing. This little tiny town, I doubt there can't be more than 1,000 people living in this town. And there were more than that at the rodeo. And it was just so patriotic, so America loving. Everybody was friendly. Just, you know, the sun was setting, casting this glow over the hills around the stadium. It was a stadium. It It was 3 kind of smallish grandstands, but there were probably, I don't know, 12, 1,500 people there. And the vibe was just one of unity and like, God bless America. We love this country. And like this English couple I was talking about, they're like, this country is amazing. We didn't know. And I've seen that from so many people. There's a guy, is he German, I think maybe? Got kind of semi-famous on YouTube or TikTok or wherever it was about, all the great things. They go to our convenience stores and our fast food places and our giant truck stops and travel the country and the diversity in this country. And I don't just mean people, I mean landscape. Like even here in Utah, we have deserts, we have mountains, we have everything in between. And I love it so much, and I will continue to love it and defend it until the day I die. Hopefully that's at least 30 years away, but we shall see. I'm probably getting, I think most of you that watch this are in agreement with me. There'll probably be some blowback, and that's okay. That's what's great. Let me know your opinions. I will read them. If they're nasty, I won't respond. If they disagree with me, but they're respectful, I probably will respond. I push back all you want. I have no problem with somebody disagreeing with my beliefs, which is one of the big problems in colleges now, is you are only allowed to believe a certain way. And if you believe the other way, you're just evil, which is so wrong. Like I'm not a political creature. I don't lean far one way or the other way. My dad tells me I'm a fence sitter, which is okay. Some of you might not agree with that, but I like to try to find the good that I can on all sides of humanity. And I'm not afraid to point out the bad when I see it from my point of view. So let me know what you think. Like I said, there are a lot of beautiful countries in this world. Don't get me wrong. I love Norway. I love Canada. I've had the privilege of living in both of them. But I choose here. I'm excited to go back to Norway, to see my homeland again, to speak my native tongue again. And I love going up every summer and visiting my friends and family in Canada. But I choose here. And I jumped through a lot of hoops to move down here. I was, let's see, I got married to my ex-wife in '89. So I was 25 when I started the process of becoming a permanent resident here. Up until that time, I had student visas. And I don't know how it is now. And by the way, I don't blame people for trying to get here any way they can, legally or illegally. I did it legally. I think that's the way you should do it. I have no problem with immigration. Legally, every country in the world is like that. We're not racist because we want laws enforced for our country, borders, a sovereign country. There's no country in the world that just lets people just pile in. But that being said, I don't blame them for trying. But I did it legally. I jumped through a lot of hoops, a lot of interviews, a lot of weird questions, a lot of paperwork, but this was before the internet. A lot of paperwork. But I'm so glad I did. And I'm so glad I get to enjoy the freedoms and the beauty of this country. So again, I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope if you do hate this country and you live here, you can find a way to change your opinion and see the good that's here. Because there is a lot of good. And whatever's bad, let's work on fixing it. Tack för denna gång. Vi snackas igen snart. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a beautiful day. God bless America. Peace. Love.